Here's a question for you. If your inner voice was broadcast out loud for the world to hear, would it sound like a cheerleader or a critic? Today, we're talking about the power of your self talk and why shifting it might be the most important self love move that you can make this year. We'll talk about it when we return. Hello, mompreneurs. Welcome back to another episode of the Making of a Mompreneur show. I am your host, Rashida Green, the founder of Get Coaching, the host of this wonderful Mompreneur HQ community, and the creator of the Digimompreneur Academy, where we help moms who are determined to find time, money, and location freedom to start, grow, and scale online businesses so that they can build the life of their dreams without neglecting themselves or their families in the process. Now, listen, we do this through a number of ways: coaching, community, content, and through our Digimompreneur Academy. We want you to know that this is where we have real conversations about building business, balancing and juggling, and just making harmony with this life, this thing called life, and becoming the best version of ourselves without losing who we are in the process. Now, we are talking about the self talk shift, turning negative narratives into powerful affirmations. We are deep into self love September. Yes, we are still continuing with our theme. And today we are talking about the self talk shift. Now, if you understand that self love isn't just about bubble baths and spa days, then you will truly get what we're saying today as we're talking about self talk shift. It's really about how you treat yourself on the inside. It's about the stories that you repeat in your head every single day. Because here's the truth: what you say to yourself, you start to believe. I'm going to repeat that for the people in the back. What you say to yourself, you start to believe. And what you start to believe, you start to live out. So tonight, we're going to break down why self talk matters, how to catch negative narratives before they take root, and how to create affirmations that actually work for busy mompreneurs like us. Now, if you're ready, I want you to go ahead and, as per usual, drop a hashtag ready in the comments. If you're not ready, go ahead and get your pen, paper, or digital device so that you can take down some notes and some strategies that you might want to use on our topic today. And let us know where you're tuning in from. You can also drop that hashtag there, hashtag LA, hashtag New Jersey, hashtag Charlotte. Wherever you're tuning in from, let us know where you're joining so that we can know the wide reach of the Mompreneur HQ community. As you are preparing yourselves, I just want to say thank you once again. This is September, Self Love September. This is my birthday month, and this is how I celebrate all month with you all. So thank you for being here. And we are going to get into why self talk matters. All right. So that's the first thing we're going to talk about. As moms, we're quick to cheer for our kids, our friends, our family. Oh, you can do it. Yes. Yes. You're so amazing. Oh my gosh. Don't give up. You don't quit. But when it comes to ourselves, the soundtrack often sounds more like, oh, I'm failing. I just don't have enough time. I'm so behind. I'm never going to catch up. You know what? Forget it. I'm just not cut out for this. All of this negative stuff, all of this negative stuff that we feed ourselves. Guess what? Our brain is always listening. And every time you repeat something, it's like planting a seed. Now, the question is, when you plant this seed, what is it that you're trying to grow? Negative seeds grow weeds, and positive seeds grow confidence. So when you're talking to yourself, and guess what? Talking to yourself, your inner thoughts is healthy. You get to express yourself, think out some things, think through some things, get point A to Z in your mind on how you want to operate, how you want to produce. This is all something that is very natural and it's fine. But remember, if you're always talking to yourself negatively, you're producing because your brain's job is to try to make what you want happen. Think about it. I want to walk to the corner store. My brain is going to make sure that my feet start walking so I can get to the corner store. If I want to take a shower, my brain is going to tell me, girl, get up, get them legs moving, turn the faucet on, get in the shower. But if you're constantly telling your brain something negative, oh my gosh, I'm not going to be able to do it. I don't have enough hours in a day. Guess what? You're going to find that you don't have enough hours in a day because your brain is not given the instructions to be productive, to map out the plan, to schedule your agenda so that everything can get done. It's being told there's not enough hours in a day, so I'm going to be unsuccessful with getting the things done that I need to get done. And you tell yourself that enough times, and your brain is going to believe it. And if your brain believes it, then it's going to do whatever it can to make that thing truth. So the stories we tell ourselves need to be positive, right? If you downplay yourself, if you downplay your success, it's going to impact the way you think on a regular basis. And guess what? With any other like any other habit, if you're habitually talking negative to yourself, it becomes the train of thought, the regular, the norm, the thing that you do without even thinking negative. So we have to make a concerted effort to be positive. Now, one of the things that I've come up against a couple of times now is I'm one of those people who might say, yeah, I feel like I should be further along at this point. And I have had two people tell me, what? You're doing an amazing job. You may not see it, but you are impacting people. And that is my goal, right? I want to be able to reach out to moms, help them to achieve their goals, remember who they are. It's not all about the kids and other people. You got to set boundaries for yourself. The dreams that you have are for you, that you have for yourself. You are to execute on them and not be concerned with mom guilt. Oh, because I'm not able to do this and not able to do that. Get those hurdles, get over those hurdles and be the best version of you. That is my goal, to help women to start online businesses so that they can have this life that they want, to be able to spend with their family so they don't have to think about mom guilt. But by having these digital businesses to help them to not have to run outside to make money or to go do these outside activities that interfere with their family life. Online business. That is the answer. That is the key. That's what you need to be doing so that you don't have to do the hard grind for an employer. And so when I'm doing this and I'm growing, Get Right Coaching is celebrated 5 years. And I'm doing all this to help moms. And sometimes, and yes, I have clients and people who I've helped, but at 5 years, I'm thinking the bar should be over here and I'm feeling like it's like down here. And so when someone says, what? Girl, you are still consistent. Remember, we started our business the same time. And look at what you've done in the time that you had your business. And I'm like, that's all true, but right. And it's no, that's a negative. That's a weed that has been planted, that I am not where I want to be, or where I should be, rather. I'm not where I should be. And it's not going the way I want it to be and where I expect it to be at the 5 year mark. But then for people who have been watching to say, no, I've watched your videos. I've learned some things. Girl, that one tip I actually used, and it feels good to know that other people see it. But what has to happen as we're talking about self love September is we have to make that happen for ourselves. We cannot be the saying is we're our own worst critic. We got to be our best cheerleader at this point because we're the ones feeding our brain. And if we keep feeding our brain worst critic, that's what we're going to get, worst critic. So let's think about how we can get into our mindset that positivity is where we need to be, even when it doesn't look like it's going the way that you want it to go. Think about how God has a plan for each and every one of us. God has a plan for our lives. And so we might not think that it's going the way we want it to go. And we might not think that we are where we need to be. But God has a master plan and it all works for the good, for our good. So if you can just get that in your mind to say, I'm not going to penalize myself for not being where somebody else is because that's where they are. Let me just do what I'm doing. Let me keep my mind focused and be prayed up and so that I can stay up and not be growing weeds in my brain and tell my brain I'm not able to do it. We can do all things through Christ. So let's reframe and say and teach our brain that we are able to do these things and we will do these things. And when you tell your brain to do it, it's going to find a way to do it. It's similar to how you think about those. If you punch buggy, no return. That was the thing we used to do back in the day. You saw a punch buggy. I don't even remember. It was the Volkswagen, I think. I don't even remember what the real car was, but I just know it was a punch buggy when I was growing up. And so when you saw a punch buggy, you would punch the person who you playing with. And you'd be like, punch buggy, no return. Now, mind you, you're driving in this car, going on this trip. You don't see no punch buggies. Soon as you say, let's play punch buggy no return, what does your brain start doing? Looking for all the punch buggies. And it seemed like just out of nowhere, all these punch buggies would appear, and y'all in the backseat going punch, 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 because not because there weren't any punch buggies on the road before. It's just that now you're paying attention. Now you're telling your brain, this is what I need to see so that I can win this game. It wasn't like a winning game, but now your brain it has an assignment to find these punch buggies, and that's what it's going to do. So let's make sure we understand why self-talk matters, because it can literally be the difference between life or death. And I didn't mean to go dark there, but literally, there are some people who have been in accidents or been sick or in the hospital. If they give up in their brain, it's really hard for them to come back from that illness or that situation because they've already given up. And that's why sometimes when they talk about with babies who are born in these situations where they're 1 pound, 2 pounds, and they make it, and those doctors are like, because oh, this baby is a fighter, right? A fighter, like, oh, it's in your genes, it's a fighter. It's not really in genes, but you're a fighter. And that's because their brain is saying, I gotta make it. I'm gonna make it. And so their body reacts to that response. But if they don't get physical touch as babies, they don't feel the love and the connection, they may give up. And so I don't even know how I got on all of this, but hey, this is the Mompreneur Show. We're talking about life. We're talking about babies. We're talking about family and faith. So that's what we're talking about today. And so it all ties in to how we respond and how we talk to ourselves in our brain is how we show up. So now, as we're talking to in our brains and giving our brains instructions, let's talk about how we can catch those negative narratives. And again, those negative narratives are, I should be further along. Well, other moms are doing it better. Oh, she has her own show. I'll never be able to juggle it all. How can I can't even sell two things, one thing, nevertheless two. So all this negative narratives that we're telling ourselves and beating ourselves up about, listen, Here is a practical reframe method that you can use. And it's really just 3 steps. Catch it, question it, change it. Okay? Catch it. Oh, I didn't mean to say that. So I should be further along. Oh, I'm not even gonna worry about that. It's not that I should be further along. I am exactly where I need to be right now. Okay. So I'm gonna catch it. I said something negative that I should not, that I should be further along. Then I'm going to question it. Now, if my friend was to say that in front of me, would I be like, yeah, girl, you shouldn't even, yeah, you should be further along from that. You've been doing this how long? Oh, yeah, you should have been. I would not say that to my friend. I would probably give some positive reinforcement somewhere, some a positive comeback, give her a different perspective of how she can look at that versus agreeing that no, you should be way further along. So if I wouldn't say that to my friend, if I wouldn't agree with my friend with this negative response, that I would think to myself how I can turn this situation around or how I can give her a different perspective. That's the same thing that I should be doing. So I should question the statement. Is it really true or is it just how I'm feeling today? Because there is no way to say whether you should or shouldn't be further along when in life. Yeah, in school they may have this grading system that says you should be reading at a 7th grade level if you're in the 7th grade. And we understand they have some rules for that. But in general, no. You don't box yourself into what the social norms are because everyone is different. Everyone operates under different morals and ethics and everything. We're just different people. So then the last part of that would be to change it. And so that would be what I was saying about, okay, we're going to change the perception. We're not going to say that because it's not about I should be further along. I'm doing what I need to do to get where I need to go. And the timing is going to happen in its own time. All right. So, since we've talked about catch it, question it, change it, I want you to type in one phrase that you've caught yourself slipping and saying. What's that one thing? I know for me, I tend to say, it's just not enough time in the day. That is my phrase, which is why I referenced it earlier. It's just not enough time in the day. Once you've identified in the comments, go ahead, type it in the comments, one phrase that you've caught yourself saying, then guess what? I invite you to also reframe it live in the comments. So if you have a statement like other moms do it better, I want you to say, put that in the comments, and then I want you to reframe the comment. And I want you to go ahead and do that right now. Go ahead. Change that thing up right now because we want to grow. We want the seeds to grow, be fruitful. We don't want the seeds to grow weeds. Okay. And then we want to go on to creating life giving affirmations. I know you've heard about affirmations and how we can put these affirmations on pictures, on paintings, on pillowcases, on sticky notes, on mirrors. We have these life giving affirmations all over the place. But how do we come up with these things? We're going to go through those steps now on how to build affirmations that work. Number one, I want you to make sure that you keep them short. Affirmations are not book level, paragraph level. They're really just some short sentences or short sentence or passage and you want it to be in the present tense. So you're going to say something that is short and it's in your present tense. And you want to tie the affirmations to your identity, like who you are, using I statements. and not necessarily just your goals. Now, we're entrepreneurs, so we think we are always goal oriented, right? We have these goals of how much we want to make each month, each week, each day. We talk about how many people we want to reach, how big our social media platform should be. But no, I don't want you to think about necessarily that for this exercise. I want you to tie your affirmations in to your identity, who you are, who you identify yourself as. And then I want you to make them personal and specific. Personal and specific. So now, if we're talking about a business affirmation, we're still keeping it short, present tense, identifying, making sure your identity is in that affirmation, and then you're making it personal and specific. So, I am building a business that fits my life, not the other way around. That's a positive affirmation, affirming that you are building a business and that you're building it so that it fits your life, not so that it runs you, right? That's the affirmation that you want to remind it, so that those times when you feel overwhelmed or so much is going on and you're doing so much in your business and not having the time with your family, this type of affirmation is going to remind you that, wait a second, I run this business, don't run me, right? I am allowed as an entrepreneur, as a founder, to change things up if I need to. If there's a baseball game or a soccer game or basketball game, I have the opportunity as an owner to say something else needs to move around in my schedule and not my family time, if that's a boundary that you put up. Right. So this is positive reinforcement. It gives back confidence. It gives back ownership of the time that the time that's been allotted to you. And another one would be, I am present for my family and powerful in my purpose. Again, identifying entrepreneurship, but also identifying who you are, powerful in my purpose. So I know I have this gift. I know I have this goal. I know I have this business and this dream, but I'm going to be powerful in that. I'm not going to be slacking, but I'm also going to be present for my family. And they are not going to be lacking because I'm doing so many things, right? These are examples of positive reinforcement or affirmations that can help you get through your business, through your day, and through life. Really, I am worthy of success, rest, and joy. Notice that these are present tense. It's talking about you as a person, grabbing your identity, making it specific for you and what it is that you're looking for. And the sentences weren't long. They're really short and they're concise to really hone in on what it is that you're looking to affirm in yourself. Now you can go ahead and post this. I mentioned you can post them on sticky notes. You can put them where you work. You can put it on your nightstand right before you go to bed and say it right before you go to bed, or right when you at the beginning of the day when you wake up. You can record yourself saying them and play it back during the day. Let me tell you, my daughters were struggling a little bit with self-confidence and self-esteem, and I don't know where I was at. I don't know if it was Five Below or somewhere cheesy. And I found this recorder button. And it looks like the easy button, which is red for Staples. But this was a recorder button and it was green. And all I had to do was press the button, record my message, and let it go. And then when the girls, and so what I did is I recorded a message. It was a positive affirmation. I am beautiful. And two of them. That was three total. And I put it in their bathroom. So as they're brushing their teeth in the morning or whenever they're washing their hands, they hit the button and they just say it. And I also gave instructions on this video recording. It said, repeat after me. And so that's what they did. And when that bad boy stopped working, it was like, oh my gosh, what's happening here? Where's the batteries? How can we get this fixed? And then it went missing. And I remembered it. I recently found it, which is why this is coming up in the conversation now. but it was really great. And it's funny because I couldn't find the directions on how to change the affirmation. So it's the same one. I was looking to change it, but I had no instructions on how to do that. But anyway, that's beside the point. But really, it works for me as an individual, and it also works for the kids and whoever else just needs to know that they can reframe their mind to be positive and think positively so that you can have more positive things happen. I just thought about okay, this is not nice, but I just thought about Forrest Gump. And he said, was it Forrest Gump? Stupid is what stupid does, right? So if you continue to do certain things or to think certain things or behave a certain way, then those things become part of you and your identity. So if we're always thinking negative thoughts, the negativity will just find us. Our energy will just attract negativity. So that's another reason why we want to be positive. We want to turn that self talk into positive affirmations. And here's the bottom line: self love starts with your self talk. The words you speak to yourself, they set the standard for how you show up in every area of your life. Shift your script and you shift your story. Plain and simple. Shift your script and you change your story. Now, we've been talking about the self talk shift, turning negative narratives into powerful affirmations. If this episode hit home for you, I want you to share it with a friend who needs a little encouragement in her own journey. And since it's Self Love September, I challenge you to pick one affirmation from tonight and repeat it every day this week. Or if you've created your very own affirmation, you can drop it right there in the comments. And guess what? Maybe someone likes the one that you wrote and they'll use that for every day this week. You will be amazed at the difference that self talk can make. Thank you so much for joining us here at the Making of a Mompreneur show. I'm your host, Rashida Green, and I look forward to continuing this Self Love September series with you. Be sure to check back in with us. And if you haven't already, I want you to go ahead and comment, share, and subscribe if you're on our YouTube channel. Follow if you are on our business page. And we would love to have you join us and be alerted. Put you in the bell. Make sure you do the bell if you're on YouTube so that you can be alerted the next time another one of our episodes airs. We love the Mompreneur HQ community, and we hope that if you're just watching us or happen to stumble upon us, that you would go right ahead to our Facebook group and join our community. Thanks again. Until next time.